Welcome to English Stories by Manvi Sharma, where simple stories create powerful lessons. Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I am going to share a beautiful and heart-touching story with you. Today's story is called The Child Who Shared His Last Meal. It is a story about kindness, generosity, and how even a small act of sharing can change someone's life.
So, let's begin. Our story starts in a small, quiet village. And in this village lived a very kind young boy whose name was Aman.
You see, Aman's family didn't have a lot of money. His mom and dad worked so hard, from morning till night. But even with all that work, some days were really tough, and there just wasn't always enough food for everyone.
Well, one afternoon, as Aman was getting ready for school, his mother handed him his lunchbox. When he peeked inside, he saw a single piece of bread and just a few vegetables. It was a very simple meal.
She looked at him with so much love in her eyes and said gently, "This is all we have today." Aman understood completely. He gave his mother a warm smile, took his lunch, and headed off to school.
So when lunchtime came around, Aman found a nice spot under a shady tree to eat. But, just as he was about to take his very first bite, he noticed something. He wasn't alone.
Sitting nearby was another little boy, all by himself. He wasn't playing or eating. He was just staring at the ground, and, well, he looked so sad and so very hungry.
Aman felt a little tug on his heart. He closed his lunchbox, walked right over to the boy, and asked him softly, "Why aren't you eating?"
The boy looked up, and in a really quiet, small voice he replied, "I forgot my lunch at home, and I have nothing to eat."
Aman looked down at his own small lunchbox. He remembered what his mother had said, that this was the only food he had until he got home. For a moment, he just thought, his own stomach was rumbling too.
But then, Aman looked at the sad boy again, and right then, he knew exactly what he needed to do. His own hunger just didn't seem that important anymore.
And you know what he did? A big, kind smile spread right across his face. He sat down next to the boy and said so warmly, "Don't worry, we can share." Without even thinking twice, Aman opened his lunchbox, took out that single piece of bread, and carefully broke it into 2 equal halves. He gave one half to the boy, along with some of his vegetables.
Oh, you should have seen the other boy's face. It just lit up with so much relief and gratitude. And right there, under the shade of that big tree, the 2 boys sat together and enjoyed their meal. It wasn't a big lunch, of course, but it was filled with so much warmth and friendship.
Aman went home that day with such a happy heart. But he had no idea at all, that his simple act of kindness was about to bring an amazing and unexpected change to his life. The very next day, there was a knock on the door of Aman's little home. When his parents opened it, they saw a kind-looking woman. She introduced herself as a new teacher at the school. The teacher smiled and said, "I've come to see Aman. Your son showed such great kindness yesterday. You see, the hungry boy he helped, he's my nephew." She went on to say, "My family and I were so touched by what he did. A boy with such a beautiful and generous heart deserves every opportunity. We would like to support Aman's education." Can you just imagine? Aman's parents were standing there in stunned silence, their eyes just filling with tears of joy. They couldn't believe it. Because of one small act, one shared lunch, their son's whole future was suddenly looking so bright. A man learned a very important lesson that day, a lesson he would carry with him for the rest of his life. He realized that it doesn't matter how little you think you have, even the smallest act of sharing, the smallest gesture of kindness, well, it can create ripples of goodness that spread so much farther than you can ever imagine. And that brings us to the moral of this beautiful story. Kindness always finds its way back. It might not return right away, and it might not come back in the way you expect, but it always returns. So as you go about your day, I'll leave you with this gentle thought to carry in your heart. How can you share your kindness today? Thank you for listening.